It's on the pamphlet.
Well, that's going to make the cut.
In Mike's off-air podcast, Mike O'Neill with the new My 97.5.
Hi, Mike Pesto hanging out with you as well. How you doing? As Mike waves at the camera. See, I feel obligated to wave as well. Since we are on YouTube, in fact, Hector is posting more and more stuff on our YouTube channel. One of the things I want to talk about is one of the videos that Visalia Stringer posted a week or so ago. I don't know if you saw it, where it was a TikTok video. I don't know if they put it together or if they just shared it on their Facebook page of someone in Fresno asking people in Fresno if they want to live in Fresno.
I did.
Or Visalia.
Yeah.
And that's about 10, 15, 20 people or so. And one person said Visalia. Everybody else said Fresno.
Wow.
But where were they at the time?
And they were probably in Fresno.
Yeah.
Hello. If you were in Anaheim, what do you think the answer would be?
What I thought was interesting was there was one person. Well, one person said Visalia. I think that's all they said was Visalia. No explanation. Woman basically said, well, if I'm single, Fresno. If I'm married, Visalia.
Wow.
So that's depending on, I guess.
I'll take agendas for 200, Alex.
What types of life you're living.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've seen it yet. Hector, who, again, puts these videos together for YouTube, and I, when we were at the Independent Spectacular Thursday, we hit the field there and just asked about, again, 15 people or so, if you could decide Fresno or Visalia where you want to live, keeping in mind we were in Visalia.
So I'm going to guess the answer was, and I've already seen it, so the opposite. Yeah. All Visalia and one Fresno or so.
It didn't start off that way. Well, it started off bad because the very first person we asked said Fresno, and then she's like, "Oh, I shouldn't say that." I'm like, no, we want honesty. So the one person who said Fresno was the very first person, because Hector decided to kind of not do them in chronological order. So she's pretty much towards the end of the video, but she was the first person we asked. I'm like, if they're all going to go like this is going to backfire on us big time.
Really, this is going to be the opposite vibe I was looking for. Speaking of the show, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that awesome?
That was great.
It was estimated. I asked Paul Carter, our general manager, the other day. He said he thought it was between 7.5 and 15K people there.
I'm so bad at doing that. Short of, all right, everybody, let's count off.
One,
in the back, start there.
2.
Yeah.
But wow, because we had around 5 last year, which I thought was the biggest thing. We were going to, the biggest amount of people we were going to get to come to something like that, but wrong.
If you got out there for it, first of all, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll do it again next year. But the configuration was a lot better this year for a couple of reasons.
Yes.
One, it was way too wide of a space last year. So if you were on either side of us, you really couldn't see what was going on as well. And for the artists, it was much better this time because the sun was setting at their backs, and there was a back screen anyway, so they weren't baking in the sun this year.
And over there on Radio Row, where I was for quite a lot of it, where our 4 stations were, it was shade under the pop-ups the entire time. Do it that way next time, Hector, please.
And by the way, AJ Fox from KC24, thank you very much for great weather we had out there, too. A little breezy. In fact, I asked the mayor at one point, is there anything that they send up in the air to see how the winds are doing aloft? Because I would imagine if it gets a little too windy, the drones can't do their thing.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, because I know you've been to Disneyland, as I have too. If it gets too windy, they won't do fireworks because of the smoke and the fireworks blowing in one way direction or the other.
They can't because, and man, it didn't used to be Disneyland was in as incorporated a city area.
True.
I mean, when I grew up, Disneyland, it was just surrounded by orange groves. There was nothing out there.
So
Anaheim Stadium, nothing out there. It was just orange groves. And now it's all. It's literally a resort and packed in and parking lots, and it's all concrete now.
Well, now that Playland is gone from Fresno, that opened the same year as Disneyland. Can we get another Disneyland in Orange Cove then? Because, well, it's just take down a couple of the and there you go.
The mighty metropolis of Orange Cove, California. Can hear the commercial.
Oh, man.
Lord.
So have you weighed in yet with the poll question that we have up at my975fm.com?
And that is... I don't know if you've changed it or not.
No. Oh, yeah. Change it every Friday.
Okay.
True or false? And I've got a hard and fast opinion on this, and I've already said it a few times on the air. I was going to wait till we get to the podcast to give my opinion. Again, true or false, multitasking is a myth.
I have an opinion on this as well.
That's why we're bringing it up. That's why we're here, folks.
It's physically possible for me, but you sure won't get my best work at all of the things. If I'm trying to do 3 things at once, I'm not doing any one of those things as well as I would be if I were doing it singularly. That's how I am, because I tend to be very ADD. I'm better to do things one at a time. I can multitask because my job requires it. But if I get going too fast, I'll hit the wall. And I know that a lot of it is just muscle memory for me, because I've been doing what I do for so long. We're just getting it done, and I'm getting it done well. But these things I'm doing are just very mechanical. They don't require much more than mechanical work. If I have to stop and create a commercial, that's getting my whole attention.
Mm-hmm. And exactly, and my thinking on it is multitasking is a myth. You can only do one thing at one time. We are doing our podcast right now. You're not also brainstorming an idea on the next great commercial or imaging or anything else. You are here in this moment, engaged with me, recording this. Hector is in another room doing something else. Later he'll be doing this. For anyone who you need to multitask more. No, you don't. You need to concentrate on the job you're doing, do that job to the best of your ability, move on to the next job.
It's like when I'm doing traffic. I'm one of the 3 people that does PM traffic here in the radio stations for our radio stations. And when it's 3 o'clock and it's my traffic day, I'm done. At least that's the way I've planned the day, because the 4 radio stations, the actual broadcasts in a half an hour, are about 20 minutes apart. So the one that airs first and the one that airs last, it better not be the same, because they won't be accurate. The traffic will have changed enough. I literally do 3, maybe 4, a half an hour around the horn the whole time.
Okay.
And then a salesperson comes in and says, "Hey, we got to fix this commercial."
Not while this is going on.
But I have to.
But you can't do both at the same time. That's the point.
Not at the same
that's
physical time,
that's
but
my
within
point.
the same time period. I have to move things around.
Yeah.
And I'm no longer I'm gonna miss a traffic crash because I'm busy fixing my commercial.
Yeah, so that's the point.
And then I come back and I'm like, crap.
You cannot do 2 things or more at the same time.
No.
You could be thinking about something else, but as far as physically doing something, you can only do one thing at a time.
Not with any degree of quality, that's for sure.
Yeah, walking and chewing. I'm not talking about, because someone's going to say, well, you can walk and chew gum. Right now you're talking and your heart's beating. Okay, let's not be silly. Just something that requires thought, effort, and energy. One thing at a time, please.
And when I do what I do here, it's important to me that it is good. And if I know that if somebody's going to stop me or add something to a plate that's full, it's going to cost something. And to the best of my ability, I try, no, I can't do that now. Can we catch up in an hour? This right now doesn't work for me. Clearly it works for you. But let's catch up in an hour, because I want it to be good, don't you?
Exactly. And I learned that when I was doing mornings at a station in the Salinas Valley. I was also the assistant program director. I was also the the promotions director.
Had nothing to do.
So when I'm on the air for those 4 hours, I am on the air. That gets my undivided attention. The second the show is over, I go into the promotions office, and there's a line out the door of people from sales wanting to get together on this remote and that remote. And then it's the program director needs to bend my ear. But I can only do one thing at a time. I can only put out one fire at a time.
Yeah. And not when you need me to, whoever you are.
Well, it depends on who the you is. If the you is higher rank above me, then yes, sir, I'll get right on that.
Or the general manager got it done already.
And then tell everybody else, guess who just just jumped to the front of the line.
Yeah. But I have to say that most of our superiors don't abuse that very typically. That's been my experience. We're pretty lucky.
Okay, so with the poll question, you would vote the multitasking is a myth, or
it's effectively a myth because there's no quality can come out of it. And so and clearly that matters to me. So
yeah, and with me,
I'll go on the myth side.
It's even not even a quality thing. It's you're physically, because I think you're thinking of it in the same time frame. I'm thinking in one moment, in this second. I can only do one thing at a time in this second. Maybe the next second I'll be doing something else, but if you look at it that way...
In that context, no, it's a myth.
Yeah. So, and I wonder, though, here comes the caveat.
Don't be my wife and argue all sides of the argument.
And that's where I'm going to put the spin on this. I hear more from women that say that they can multitask, and men... generally speaking, have more of an issue multitasking. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not.
If it's true, I know that I am a typical dude insofar as I'm a linear thinker.
Yep.
Well beyond a fault. I mean, I had a great counselor once who explained to me, Mike, A is the task at hand. B is the way you've chosen to get it done. C are the results. For God's sakes, Mike, change your B. That's always your problem. You decide at the beginning, meaning me, not you, that the only way to get this done is this way. And I will beat my head against a wall trying to do that, even if it's obvious it's not going to work. We got it. No, change your B, dummy. And it's changed my life.
I don't know if this falls in the same argument of women can multitask, men can't. But I think I mentioned this previously, Brain Games, a series that is on Disney Plus, older series. And they just get into different ways that people think in general. And they got into the difference between men and women thinking. They did this experiment where there was this list of things to do. So the men read the paragraph. So there's a paragraph and then a list of things to do. Men would read the paragraph, and as they got to each one, they would do each one. Get to the next one, do the next one. Women, for the most part, would read the whole list first, which, with this particular challenge, if you read the whole list first, the very last thing at the bottom said, or simply sign this sheet and hand it to the administrator.
Oh.
So as the men were changing clothes and putting on different hats, doing all these things on this laundry list of things to do, women read the list first for the most part and then signed the sheet and handed it over, and women almost to a cop
stood there smiling.
Yeah, and still hearing their boyfriends, their husbands, their fiancés, because it was one room right next to the other. So there's a camera above them. So you could see the woman signing the sheet, handing it over, and just standing there waiting.
Yeah, all of the above changed the game there.
Yeah.
You have to... don't jump until you read through.
Like when you go to the store and you've got a laundry list of things that you need to get at the store, do you go in order, or do you look at the list first and kind of in your mind think, okay, so I can get these things in this section, these things in that section?
No, I drive my wife crazy because we are the opposite. And again, there's the free spirit and the nerd. I'm the nerd. She's the free spirit. I go through Winco, for lack of an argument, the same way every time. Every time I go straight in the door, go through the produce, all the way through the produce, around the corner. Now we're in the deli, out the deli, into the meat department. I don't even need meat, Mike, but I'm looking because I like meat, and I'm checking it out. Okay, next aisle, and then up and down every aisle till we leave.
So
because I'm afraid I might miss something that I might not have written down. And it just makes me feel like I did it completely, and if I forgot something, I'll remember it because I'll see it.
Okay.
My wife, as I'm doing that, is with me, and then she's gone because she thought of something. Oh, I forgot this. And then she's back here now. And then we're going, wait, And then
So you
she's
don't
gone.
necessarily work off a list when you go
We
shopping?
do work off a list.
Okay.
But I might have forgotten something on it. I might not have put it on.
Okay.
I might have forgotten to put deodorant on. I don't know. But I just go through that way. And then we're done, and then we leave. But Colleen is a ping pong ball. She's all over the store. All over the store. I thought of this. Bam, she's gone. Where's your mother? Oh. Or Sean. Where's Mom? I don't even have to answer. I just, And then she's back. And we're just different that way.
Interesting.
And we get all the food home, though.
All right, so before we go, I'm just going to wrap it up here any minute now. I have to ask, what's with the summer dew?
Hey, I love it. It's cooler. I needed it. And let's be honest, if I'd have let it go another week, I could have auditioned for Doc Brown in Back to the Future. It was out of control. I needed to cut it down for summer.
Okay. I saw it day one. I'm like, ooh, someone got a buzz cut. I mean, it's as close as I've ever seen it.
Yeah. I haven't been this short before. I'm 2 on the side. I think about a 4 or 5 on the top. She did it with scissors and
Okay.
So I don't know specific. She estimated it was about a 4 on top. So it's pretty tight for me.
All right, so if you see Mike O'Neill at the big show coming up on July
Don't call
18th.
him Matt Lauer.
I wasn't going to say it, but now that you say that. If you don't recognize him, if you're just listening to this podcast, you got to watch it on our YouTube channel so you can see the new look of Mike O'Neill.